There's a look at Arrowhead Stadium, part of the Truman Sports Complex here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Yellow, I go out 80. 54 miles. You better be afraid of me.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. I'm not sure exactly what they had planned for play number one from scrimmage, but I can guarantee it wasn't that interception.
No doubt about that one, because in their daydream, this was going to be a dream play to get things started. Instead, it turned into a nightmare for them.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. They'll run with Davis. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw is Elway. It's caught by Sanders. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. And the Broncos first down.
Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. They have a first and 10 at the 13-yard line. Here's Davis running right, and they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Elway to throw on 2nd. That's complete to his speedy wideout Goodwin. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, Elway. Oh, now Elway has it stripped. The ball is out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Not the way they wanted to begin things. You had the interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
They'll run on first down. It's Grant. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Second and 10 at the Broncos' 49-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Here's Grant. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Loss of a yard, bringing up third and 12.
Let's go, Blue Lady. 54 Mike. Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Me. I got him. I got motion man.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. Steps away to his left. Looking for Kelsey there, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead grows to 10-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second and 9, Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and losing.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 23. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll try the right side here with Davis. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the first quarter. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
On the double. Check Mike 54. Mike 50. Recon 132 fighter.
Watch the twins.
3rd and 2. Now Elway. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Davis. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Bravo.
We own them. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. 54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Hey, Haywood.
Screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check.
Ready?
From midfield, Elway. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 35. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Elway. That's taken in by the tight end Perkins. They find some open field here. A good pickup there, a 22.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there.
Down. 50. Plant.
Push him back. Push him back.
They go back to the ground now with Davis. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Rolling to his left. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mahomes going to throw. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
They're on 35-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
First down, Broncos.
Let's go. 70, Indy. Pilot, 64, Whit.
They keep it with Davis on 1st down. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Now Elway. The Sanders has got it complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 23. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. This is Davis. And down inside the 15 he goes. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Protein spill. 18 Gator. Lead Trevor.
Now it's Elway. Man open. It's Goodwin. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Mike 50.
Let's go, Mike 50.
We got it.
On 3rd down, Elway. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Now the question, what do you do here? Time, not really an issue. You got over a minute, but you figure from this spot you'd need a good 50, 60 yards to even consider a field goal try.
Yeah, so there's optimism there, but there's also a little bit of restraint, right? You got to make sure you don't take a sack here. Don't end up...
And that's caught inside the 35. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 59 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's get this all day.
A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Mahomes now to throw. They're going to set up the screen here. This is Grant. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Butker able to put this one through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the 2nd half.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Again, it's Davis. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Oh, yeah.
And too soft.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line.
On 3rd down, Davis. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
And that's where this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really start to matter. They got to make some moves.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st, as he can only get this to about the 19. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a 1st down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the 1st down.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
On 1st, they'll throw with Elway. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Ready.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Pull it high. Come on, let's go. Check 28. Zoom. Snap.
Throwing again. Elway. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
Like how they started the third quarter here. They forced a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Now Elway on 3rd and long. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Ready. 50. Plant.
Check, 59. Watch your slap.
Greystone. Travel.
Slap. You got tape. You got tape right there.
Hey, Delta. 2.
Throwing now. Elway on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Davis. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On the ready.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Davis. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Let's go.
Now a give, right side. It's Davis. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Ready.
59, come on. Check, 59. Hey, watch the ball.
Ready.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Watch the curve.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They go again with Davis. Room past the 20. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 49 yards on the ground.
First down, Denver.
Ready.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Get it.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Why? Get wide.
80 weapons.
Go. Shoot.
Now.
On first down, Lindsey. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Jim.
On 2nd down, Davis. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Is on for the field goal. A 26-yard attempt.
The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start? And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Devondre Campbell, the line linebacker picks it, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, Elway. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. 1 play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Throwing now is Mahomes.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. They will run with Grant. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. They'll try to run with McKinnon. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Jerick McKinnon. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try.
Here we go. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Yellow. Safety's creeping.
They'll try and run it here. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. So nothing fancy there. That was just a fullback dive. Defensively, they were ready for it.
They were, and I think that surprised the guys on offense because handing it to the fullback, well, you don't do that very often, so that's a tendency breaker. And I think they just wanted to say, let's just go straight ahead. As you said, nothing fancy. Everyone move someone out of the way and let the big guy work. Didn't get it done, though.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They begin with a run by Davis. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
It's easy work. It's coming again.
Third down.
The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Go. Rush in.
From the gun, it's Elway. He's got it complete to Perkins. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll run on first down. Grant. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
3rd down.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 28, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The first down carry for Davis. He'll have a first down past the 40. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Chiefs get their 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yes.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A big play there on the catch and run. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From from the 29. Mahomes. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
On first down now, a run with McKinnon. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 5.
Stay focused. Come on. All right. I got you.
Ready up.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and
smile.
shake hands. Yes. Get out of there.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Denver, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.